Bayou Morning Flake. This is a Cornell and Deal product, or flake. Just regular Bayou Morning. I've been smoking on this for about a month or so. And I've smoked about 3/4 of the tin. And I just figured if I didn't do a review now, it might be a while. It's it's supposed to be like 25% perique. It honestly feels like more than that. There's a lot of dark brown chestnut and then all the way to like almost black pieces in here. But I like the cut. It's a nice cut. It's easy to work with. It's just a regular, loose flake tobacco. I don't usually do this, I don't think, but I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the tin because I think it's kind of important on this one. Not for the faint of heart, this Virginia Perique blend is composed of red and bright Virginia leaves. Maybe that red is contributing to some of that dark brown or mahogany looking flecks. Red and bright Virginias and 25% Perique. Bayou Morning is a Perique lover's delight and one of our most popular blends. I'm smoking in a little Sean Ream room. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I would assume it's either room or ream. A little apple. I've been struggling with the last sentence on this tin. Bayou Morning is a Perique lover's delight and one of our most popular blends. Now the reason why I'm struggling with that is I always thought of myself as a Perique guy. My favorite English style tobacco has Perique in it. GLP's Piccadilly. If I remember right, Virginia Latakia Perique, and I love it. I smoke. I'll smoke a Virginia Latakia Oriental, or something like that. It's just not as good to me. I really, really like that Virginia Latakia Perique. And I don't remember it off the top of my head, but like some other stuff with like Turkish, I think has some Perique in it. I want to say Sunday Picnic has some Perique, and it's Virginia Turkish Perique, maybe something else. Embarcadero, I think, is another one that's like Virginia Turkish Perique, possibly something else, but I can't remember. Those are both really good blends. I like both of those. In fact, Sunday Picnic is probably one of my top Cornell and Deal branded blends, not produced blends, but branded blends. Sunday Picnic. So I always thought of myself as a Perique lover. And then I get to this blend, and I don't love it. It's okay, it's okay. And so now I'm thinking, am I a Virginia lover, like disguised as a Perique guy? I don't know. I mean, I do like some straight Virginias. But also, there's some straight Virginia. There's a lot of straight Virginias that just don't really do it for me. They're not really that complex or that interesting. So I always thought I was a Perique guy in the fact that like I needed a little bit of Perique to make the Virginia, or maybe the Virginia Latakia really kind of like kick up a notch. I still think that that's true, but I think for me there's a limit on the amount of Perique that I like in a blend, not tolerate. I can tolerate this. I personally don't find the nicotine to be very high, but I feel like I'm fairly nicotine tolerant. So This blend just kind of feels one-dimensional to me. The perique, you just, it's a perique bomb. The Virginias just generally don't. I don't think that they're interesting enough, strong enough, robust enough to play as well as I would like them to with this amount of perique. They're there and they kind of peek out here and every once in a while, but you know what this blend kind of feels like to me, and this could be like I just thought of this just now, and I could be totally in left field on this one. This blend kind of feels like Scotch and water, in that the perique is the Scotch, the Virginia is the water. The Virginia is only there to tame the perique down a little bit because they just want to showcase the perique. They only want the flavors of the perique to come through. That sort of I don't even think it's in this perique's not fruity. It's just like very earthy, woody, earthy, um, peppery, spicy. I think that's probably what I like the most is the pepper. I really like a nice peppery perique that kind of give you a little nose tingle. Scotch and water is a little bit different because it would probably be like we'll call it you know 3/4 Scotch and a quarter water, or maybe a half and a half or something like that. But that's the water is just to sort of tame the Scotch down a little bit. And I'm not like a really big Scotch drinker, but I don't even own a bottle of Scotch right now, actually, to think of it. But to kind of tame it down, so you kind of get some of those flavors, and it's more drinkable. This kind of feels like we really want you to pay attention to the perique, and we're putting this Virginia in it so that you can manage smoking it to pay attention to the perique. I don't particularly love that. Um, like I said, it's okay. It's an okay blend. Um, it's definitely not an every nighter for me. Um, probably won't buy it again. Just because I think there's so much better stuff out there, and there's so much more stuff that I haven't even tried. I mean, I can't imagine being a new pipe smoker. I mean, I remember when I was a new pipe smoker, it seemed like there was an insane amount of tobacco to choose from, and there's way more choices now. It feels like. I mean, you have big brands that have kind of gone away. Most namely McClellan. There's a lot of things that you could get when I first started smoking a pipe in 2005 that are very hard to get now. We've talked about that in the past. The Esotericas, the Sam Galwis or Gaywis, however you want to pronounce it. The Galwith and Hogarth, things like that. The Heinrichs, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the Dan tobacco stuff, super easily to get. I look back and I think back and I kick myself for not buying, a bunch of Kingfisher. That's a blend I've never tried. I never bought, and I kick myself. In a way, I kick myself for not buying it because I think that I would really enjoy Kingfisher, just based on what I've heard about it and what you read about things and stuff like that. It just seems like it'd be right up my alley. But I will likely never smoke Kingfisher. Maybe if they reintroduce it again in the future, maybe I'll get that iteration of it, but it'll never, who knows if it'll be what it was before. I don't know, you know. So I would love to be able to find an original tin of Kingfisher. The hard part about that is, man, cracking that thing open and smoking it would be tough. Um, anyway, that's sort of got off track there a little bit, but the point is, I don't know how newer pipe smokers handle the amount of just stuff that's on the market. And not just that, but then there's like those brands I mentioned earlier, the stuff that's on the market that you can't, get. It's like, I don't know. It seems to me like it would be a really weird time to be a new pipe smoker. Um, but maybe new pipe smokers don't feel that way because they don't know any different. I don't know. I guess I just kind of feel fortunate that I have a pretty decent backstock of things I like. Always need to buy more. Always want to buy more. I was digging around in my cellar totes the other day and realized I didn't really have as much of 2 or 3 blends that I thought I had, and I kind of almost had a little panic. Like, man, I need to buy like five to 10 tins of that. This, and you know, this year, and then probably again next year, and then go back to 1 to 2 tins at a time. To me, that seems like a pretty decent way to do it. If you feel like you're pretty low on something, buy like 5 tins of it, and then every 6 months or so, buy another tin or two. Especially if it's something that you feel like you're going to smoke, multiple tins a year. Maybe you want to buy more tins a year. It's kind of thing. So, which brings you back to Bayou Morning. If I'm going to smoke a Virginia perique, there's easily 10 that I can just think of off the top of my head that I would rather smoke than Bayou Morning. So why dig into the tobacco budget for more? I mean, I'm really glad that I tried it. Um, I'm never gonna regret trying something. I might not like it, and I might go, I don't like that. I'm not gonna buy it again, but I won't regret trying it because you don't know unless you test it. You gotta test it. You can hear people say all they want about tobaccos, and unless you try it, unless you test it for yourself, you'll have no idea. Same with pipes. That's why a while back, well, it was probably been a year ago or more, I did the 5 the 5 blends that, um, the 5 highly rated blends that I thought were trash or whatever it was called. I don't remember what it was called, something like that. Because everyone could be singing the praises of all these things, and then you try it and you're like, I think that's crap. Anyway, this stuff, Bayou Morning is interesting because there's like a few fleeting moments throughout the bowl where you'll be like, damn, that was a good couple moments right there. And then you're just sort of trudging through the bowl until you get to another instance of that, whether it's cadence, heat, airflow. Maybe you hit a pocket of more Virginia or more whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, but or just sort of how a bowl can be, just sort of it's peaks and valleys a lot of times. Very rarely are you just like a firework where it's just like up and up and up and up until the very end. It's just like a huge culmination of amazingness. Um, I don't. Very rarely are you gonna ever experience that. A lot of times you're just kind of going peaks and valleys, and you obviously you want to really pay attention to the peaks, but you also want to pay attention to the valleys because there's little secrets in those valleys too, which help you unlock certain things in your mind and in your palate for the rest of the smoke. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about new pipe smokers recently. But I've got this. I've been thinking about doing this video. I don't know if I probably will. I probably, I don't know if I should or I shouldn't. It feels a little trolly to me. Um, I don't mind being a little trolly at times. Like trolly meaning like it feels a little like being a hater kind of. Not against new pipe smokers, um, but sometimes I do get the feeling that like our community is too nice, um, and we want to just be nice and have real positive opinions and not give any sort of constructive criticism or maybe harsh opinion on something. So uh, I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. Um, but at the same time, I don't want to. Uh, I don't want to call out any companies or I don't want to call out any people or anything like that um, that are generally trying to do good for the community. So I don't want to make a video. There's something. I have an idea. I'm gonna make a video. I want to make a video out of. I'll probably do it. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure my head's right because I don't want to call out any individual specifically. But we're at the end of this video. So if you've made it this far, I feel okay kind of talking about this. I want to end off the review with saying. Bayou Morning, I think it's totally worth it to try. For me, it's okay, but it's not like a buy again. If someone offered it to me and it was like, whatever, I'd smoke it, no problem. I'm just not gonna buy it again, probably. I want to say, I don't want to say a time frame, but recently, I saw a post on Instagram where an individual who's I would consider fairly prominent in the pipe community had taken a screenshot of it looked like a thumbnail from a YouTube video that he saw that someone made, and I don't know who the YouTuber was. I couldn't even they didn't give the guy's name, and they didn't show his face. I kind of tried to do like a little bit of search to try to find it, but couldn't really find it. So I'm assuming he was just kind of having a smoke, talking about some stuff, and then he had an opinion. And this individual that took the screenshot post on Instagram had what I would consider like it's kind of what I was just talking about though. So that's why I said I don't want to be like I'm not trying to be too harsh, but it's more of like an opinion based. He made this individual that posts on Instagram made some judgments about this other individual's opinions, and basically was just essentially like, you're wrong. I don't know if you know how opinions work, but an opinion is what you think, what you feel. It's not like any basis in fact. So it's not really a matter of being right and wrong. To tell someone that their opinion is wrong, or conversely that it's right, in my opinion, is not a correct way not the correct way we should be conducting ourselves. If you think he has a goofy opinion, you want to give your opinion on the same subject, just on that subject, right? Like, if I say red is the best color and you say, no, I think blue is the right color, that's fine. But the thing is that's kind of what he tried to do. It's like I said, it's not even really his fault. And I'm kind of going around in circles, so you have to bear with me a little bit. But we're at the end of the video, so this is the time for chasing your tail, right? So he kind of tried to say. So the YouTuber's opinion was that pipes are not art. They're functional. They're essentially functional pieces. Therefore, in his opinion, are not art. I'm assuming that this guy's opinion on art is, maybe sculptures or paintings or drawings or something like that. Tattoos. I don't know. Maybe something else. But I would imagine that he doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he looks at his vehicles as art, but pipes not. I don't know. I don't care. If you think a sports car is art and a pipe isn't, I might think that that's a little odd, but I don't think that I don't think I could tell you that your opinion is wrong because they both have some sort of real world function. Um, and anyway, in the comments were kind of surprising, man. Like they just chastised this guy, the YouTuber, not the guy posting on Instagram. The YouTuber, they just chastised this guy. Oh, like don't take my word for it, but it's like, oh, what an idiot. Obviously, pipes are art, like, oh, this guy obviously doesn't get it, pipes are art. And it's like, what? Say, I don't know. It's like saying, well, I don't agree with him. To me, pipes are art. Fine. But saying this guy's an idiot, he doesn't get it, he obviously doesn't know, he obviously doesn't really understand, blah, blah, blah. It just sat wrong with me. It kind of sat wrong with me. And, I don't really know. It sat wrong with me. I didn't really like that very much. I don't really care. I mean, who cares? It's like, but who really cares? Because, we're not going to sugarcoat the world and put bubble wrap on everything. So, that's why I kind of say, like, it's weird because sometimes I feel like we're almost too nice, and then certain situations like that come up where a guy has, maybe a little bit different opinion than, we'll say, 95% of, pipe smokers that are paying attention to YouTube, Instagram, things like that. And, it's like, they run them through the ringer for it. And I don't really, I don't know. I think that there's things that we could run people through the ringer for, that would be more beneficial to our community, to this community, than running a guy through the ringer on whether or not pipes are art or not. That's his opinion or whatever. I think that there's a lot of other things that we can be doing, a lot of other positions that we could be, debating or conversing about than that. So, anyway, like I said, no, it's no fault to the YouTuber. Not really any fault to the guy on Instagram. I mean, maybe kinda, because if I remember his post kind of right, he kind of chastised him a little bit, which I just don't see the point. I don't see the point. What's the point of chastising a guy for his opinion on whether or not pipes are art or not? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I think it kind of depends too, right? Like, think of knives, swords, blades, axes, things like that. I think that you can't. I think in those terms, if you think about it, if you take, like, I'm not like a big knife guy. I have pocket knives, I have hunting knives, I have things like that. But to me, they're just tools. So that's, if I made a video on that, I would say this is not art. Like, knives are not art. They are tools. They have more physical value to me in terms of being a tool than they have intrinsic or subjective value being something I think are cool to look at. But there's a lot of people out there that would probably completely disagree with that and say that they are 100% art, and that's totally fine. When you conflate that to the argument with pipes, I think, to me, it makes a lot more sense how you can have such bilateral opinions, and neither one of them are right, in my opinion. In my thought, in my opinion, neither one of them are wrong. Just one guy is looking at the object through a certain lens, and the other guy is looking at the object through a completely different lens. It just so happens that apparently 95% of Instagram believes, they agree with, the other guy. So that was probably really confusing. I wanted to kind of talk about it on a video. You know, I think having opinions is good. I think, you know, saying what you believe, I think, is totally fine, right? Like, I have no issue with that. I would just say that maybe we just be. I would hope that we could be a little bit more careful about douchebaggery in certain things. You know, don't be a douchebag. Don't be a douchebag and tell someone that, you know, their opinion is wrong and pipes aren't art. I think that's, um, yeah. Like I said, that might be a little trolly. Oh well, um, it is what it is. Uh, so that's pretty much it. The other thing I'll probably make its own video on. The other thing I kind of wanna talk about. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, YouTube's not really, you know, it's a thing that I kind of just sit down and do when I want to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy when I do. I hope you guys enjoy little rants. And let me know in the comments if you share my opinion or if you don't. But let's keep it civil in the comments. Let's make sure we're not, you know, we're not chastising people. Let's not be douchebags. If I was a douchebag in this video at the very end right here, I apologize for that. Let me know about it, and I'll do better. I'll try to do better. So, because I'm not editing stuff, I'm not rewatching it. Whatever's here is getting posted, and that's just you know, that's how it is. So, that's how you learn. You know, and maybe I'll learn to be a better person, or maybe what I'm saying is totally fine, and no one thinks any different, or maybe they think different, but they think that the way I said it was fine. I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. Hopefully, yeah, like I said, hopefully I'll do another video on some other stuff that I wanted, on that other subject I wanted to discuss. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Until the next one, though, happy smokes. Enjoy your pipes. Enjoy your tobacco. Whether you think your pipes are art or not, whether you think your tobacco is art or not. There goes my light. I got a little light. I didn't think it really made that much of a difference, but now that it's off, I can see it makes a big difference. Wow, look at that. Boom. Until next time. Adios.